The building had better be on fire, or you had better be bringing me money.
Miss Scrooge, there's...
Out with it, Cratchit. Time is money, and I'm about to start charging you per word.
Well, there's 2 gentlemen here to see you.
I'm sure. Send them in and get back to work.
Yes, of course, Miss Scrooge.
Good evening, Miss Scrooge.
Dispense with the pleasantries. If I needed to know your names, I'd tell you.
Well, Miss Scrooge, we understand your time is valuable and...
Then stop wasting it and state your business.
Yes.
We are with the local Samaritans and raising monetary donations for the poor and needy this Christmas.
We were hoping you would consider...
Humbug.
I'm sorry. What do you mean?
I mean humbug. Why should I give any of my hard-earned money to the poor? I've scraped and clawed for every last penny that I have. The poor, on the other hand, merely cry and beg for what they refuse to earn. I won't have it. They're better off dying in the cold and ceasing to be a strain on the rest of us. Humbug.
But, Miss Scrooge, it is Christmas after all. A season for joy and giving.
2 things in this world I have no use for. Just like you. Now get out before I have you arrested for trespassing.
As jovial as ever, Aunt Eliza.
Why have you come here, Frida? If you weren't my sister's child, I'd have thrown you out as well. Have you come to try and weasel your way into my will?
Certainly not. As you know, tomorrow is Christmas.
Yes. You're the second to remind me. Humbug.
Come now, Aunt Eliza. You don't want to spend all of Christmas in that drafty manner, do you? I came to invite you to spend Christmas dinner with us. You've never done so, and I'd be delighted to have you.
Bah! Frivolity and nonsense. I'll do no such thing.
But Aunt Eliza, please, it's Christmas.
I have no concern for your Christmas, and none for your table. You're pressing the limits of my familial love. Take your cheer and leave.
If you insist, Aunt Eliza, I do hope you change your mind.
Humbug! Cratchit! My office, now.
Yes, Miss Scrooge?
Have you finished counting this week's trades and collections?
Of course, Miss Scrooge. Everything is accounted for and we're ready to close for the day's business.
Satisfactory enough. Finish your duties.
Miss Scrooge, seeing that it is Christmas and all, I was wondering if you might consider a small bonus for Christmas this year.
A bonus? Are you not satisfied with your salary, Cratchit? I don't expect my employees to seek charity.
Oh, no, of course not, Miss Scrooge. You certainly pay me enough. But, well, it's just that my daughter, Tony, is very sick and her medicine is quite expensive.
Your daughter? Humbug. Spend your salary more wisely if you want the little urchin to be well. Teach her strength and character, not how to be reliant on handouts, Cratchit.
Yes, ma'am. May I at least have Christmas Day off to be with my family?
A day off? Why should I? Work is work, and I demand my profits.
To be fair, Miss Scrooge, you never have business on Christmas Day. It wouldn't make much sense for me to be here and earn a salary with no profit to be made.
Very well, Cratchit. Take the day off. Unpaid. You understand? I expect you back here bright and early the day after.
Oh, thank you, Miss Scrooge. Truly. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Miss Scrooge.
Humbug! Christmas, charity, goodwill. Humbug. The world has become a melting pot of babbling fools and freeloaders. The lot of them should be grateful there are people like me to keep them in check. Imagine spending extra money on wasteful, overstuffed supper and gifts. And charity. Humbug. No, a simple meal and a good night's rest in the cool air. No need to spend on the coals and firewood like peasants. They need to build more character, like me. Bah. They'd better not come knocking around tomorrow like last year. I've a mind to stick them with a fireplace poker if they do. Ha! Ah, time for bed. Humbug to those fools. Perhaps I should close the window. Humbug. Is there someone there? Humbug. I have no time for pranks and robbers. I'll have you flogged and locked away for breaking and entering.
Humbug.
Ah!
Eliza Scrooge, witness your future and despair.
No, this can't be. You're Jacoba Marley, my old business partner. You died 7 years ago.
And for 7 years, I have languished, suffering for all eternity.
Oh, come now, Jacoba. You look perfectly all right for the circumstances.
The circumstances. Look at these chains. Forged from my own greed and avarice. I'm forced to hold them around for eternity. Sentenced to regret watching others enjoy what I never did.
You were as rich as I am, Jacoba. What did you never enjoy? You had everything.
Happiness. Happiness, Scrooge. I spent a life in service of greed, and now I must regret the happiness and joy of what life truly offers.
Oh, come now. Money is everything. That's what you taught me when I joined you. You certainly never regretted the fortune we made.
Eliza Scrooge, you are hereby warned. Tonight, you shall be visited by 3 spirits. Heed their words well, for they have decided, of all people, that you deserve another chance. Don't end up like me, Eliza.
Another chance? What are you on about? I don't need
3 spirits, Eliza. Heed them well. Heed them well. Heed them well.
Ah! Oh, 'twas a dream. Quite a frightful one. It must have been brought on by indigestion. There's more of gravy than of grave behind this. Another chance indeed. Humbug.
Humbug indeed.
Ah! Who are you? How did you get into my house?
Well, you were warned by your old friend Jacoba, and not too long ago. Speaking of, I am the ghost of Christmases past.
A ghost? Like Molly said? No, that can't be right. Though I can see through you, quite literally. How can this be? Why are you here?
Maybe you should answer with where here is.
Wait, we were just in my home. Now we're out in the snow? Why am I not cold?
I suppose you might say because you're merely here to view. You can't interact with it or the weather because it already happened.
What happened? What are you on about?
The past, Eliza. Come now. You're supposed to be quite intelligent.
How dare you speak to me like that? I'll have you know I'm...
Eliza!
Fan?
Oh, yes, your beloved older sister.
Fan? She would escort me home from school every day, even on...
Christmas Day will be tomorrow. Let's get you home and warmed up. Father Christmas will be coming tonight.
Fan, I'm too old to believe in all that. Although, I do hope there's hot chocolate to be had in front of the fireplace.
Of course there is, you silly Billy. We are simply never too old for that. Eliza, have you given any thought into which field you would like to focus your studies?
I have, actually. I think I'd like to become a...
Commodities trader and dear colleague, Eliza Scrooge.
Fan? Spirit, what have you done?
Such a large heart, your sister, though frail in her form. She is gone now, is she not? A handful of years after bringing her only child into the world?
My niece, Frida. What is this new madness? That can't be.
Miss Fezziwig, I do hope you're not sore about me snatching Miss Scrooge up from you to join my firm.
Oh, Miss Marley. I encourage it. She has a shrewd mind and a fantastic sense of budget. I merely taught her the ins and outs. It's time for her to make a name for herself. And you as well.
What do you think, Eliza? Are you ready to strike out on your own?
Oh, I can't believe I have to give up Mrs. Fezziwig's fantastic Christmas parties for it. But it is time. As long as we can bring Bill.
Ah, my lovely fiancé, there you are. Carousing with the money movers again, I see.
Oh, Bill, don't be such a bore. We're discussing our future.
Miss Marley, perhaps we should allow the happy couple some privacy?
If you insist, though I enjoy listening to Eliza chastise.
Bill was the love of your life. Until you met Jacoba Marley. Then...
I'm sorry, our future? You mean the money's future, and money became your life the second you signed that contract with Marley.
Bill, you're missing the bigger picture. Romance and fluffy imaginings are all well and good, but wealth, that holds actual power. Imagine the fluffy dreams we could finance in reality.
Eliza, I don't like what you've become. And I don't know if I can...
We never saw each other again after that dreadful conversation. Spirit, what is the point of showing me this? I was there. I remember.
Some people, well, many, in point of fact, think the past defines us. The truth, though, is that it guides us. We can dwell on or try to forget the past we could have taken when we have regrets, or we can learn from them. Jacoba Marley fostered your greed and drove you apart from Bill. It wasn't the last time your past...
Defined my whole future, you have, Frida. Were you not the child of my dear Fan, I wouldn't have taken you in after her untimely passing.
Aunt Eliza, can we still have Christmas this year? Mother would have wanted it.
Humbug.
The first time you ever uttered that word, already resenting your additional expenses, thinking your orphan niece sought to inveigle you with your sister's memory. After applying that slander to one so close and so innocent, how much easier thereafter to apply it as well to strangers. Now everyone who has had dealings with Eliza Scrooge knows it so well. Unless the topic is money, a mere humbug will suffice.
What are you hoping to accomplish, Spirit? I admit in hindsight, I perhaps could have been more familial. But the past is past and my life is fine enough for it. Why show me these pains?
Didn't you listen to Marley? You're receiving another chance.
Another chance to do what? Exactly.
A chance to change your ways and avoid Marley's fate. You have to do it before this night has passed.
Humbug. Spirits indeed. I have made my choices, and I stand by them. Business acumen is a rare talent. Only the feeble-minded would believe emotions like love, so easily discarded, could matter more than amassing a lasting legacy.
Now, Scrooge, I think you still have quite a bit to learn.
What devilry is this? Are you another so-called spirit, here to haunt my evening and convince me to spend my fortune in life on others?
Here is evidence that she has listened. Ha ha! This is wondrous news!
Humbug! What have you come to show me? More glimpses of what might have been?
Now, Eliza, no need to be so brusque about it. You saw that there were people who did love you. You also saw how that love diminished when you discovered greed.
I cannot be held accountable for their weak constitutions. I saw what it would take to maintain financial security, and I seized it.
This is your only chance, Scrooge. We want you to see how you can be a better person and help others.
Humbug! Surely those who know me regard me as the greatest person. My business acumen and intelligence inspire them. Blasted spectre! What devilry is this? Another journey to the past?
Now, Scrooge, your past was already shown to you. After all, it's Christmas, and I am your present.
Everyone, thank you for joining me this Christmas. It is always a joy to share this time with you.
Thank you for inviting us to eat this wonderful meal with you and your family.
Indeed. Your donation alone was such a blessing to our cause. But to be warm and well fed on Christmas. Young miss, I'm terribly ashamed to say I am glad you're nothing like your aunt.
Oh, come now. There is no need to speak ill of Aunt Eliza.
There! You salacious spirit! My dear Frida knows the truth.
After all, she was generous enough to keep me fed and clothed until I was an adult, although rather more generous with her complaints about the expense. Of course, I was immediately on my own when I went to university, but independence builds character, or so my aunt assured me. She hasn't shared a Christmas with me since my mother passed. But which of the two of us loses more in that bargain? No, I raise a glass to Aunt Eliza. She followed so well her own advice, so independent that she is quite alone, and has indeed built herself a character, if not as enviable or admirable a one as she might have.
Here is the truth, Eliza.
Humbug. Surely there's someone with something good to say about me.
Oh, Bruce. Couldn't that awful Miss Scrooge just relent once and give you that bonus? Wee Tony needs that medicine she wants.
Now, my love, please don't fret. I did ask her just after some charity workers approached her. I'm sure the encounter just put her in an ill humor. I'll speak to Miss Scrooge again after Christmas. After all, she's employed me for 10 years now.
Aye, and what do we have to show for it? The smallest Christmas goose ever, and a child who... Ugh, I can't believe this is our Christmas.
It's all right, Mother. I'm sure Miss Scrooge is a really nice lady. Plus, I don't mind waiting a little longer.
Oh, Tony, you've been listening in again.
Don't cry, Mommy.
I don't understand. Cratchit is a fine employee. What is this? Poverty. I pay him just fine.
This is the truth for the Cratchit family. The youngest daughter, Tony, she is quite ill. Her medicine is the greatest expense they have.
I could ask the milliner for a raise as well.
I'm not yet 9, but I'm tall, and I've heard they don't always check. I might find some work.
Oh, I couldn't be prouder to have such a family. I'll speak to Miss Scrooge again when I return to work. I'll ask again, and maybe she'll listen.
I doubt she listens to anything but the clinking of coins.
Or the rustling of paper.
Children, please.
It's all right, Martha. I'll ask again. For now, let's just keep the spirit of the season. Tony, you want to give the blessing?
Thank you, Father. God bless us, everyone.
Wait. No, don't bring me back to bed. Show me what happens. That poor child. I didn't... No. Humbug. 1,000 times humbug. I'm not responsible for the Cratchits or my accursed niece. We make our own lives in this world by our own choices.
This close, Scrooge. You were this close.
Shouldn't be this cold. What has this night become? Another dream? Surely this isn't reality. These spirits that haunt me can't be real. What dire spectre is this? You approach with such cold and silence. What do you intend to show me?
Such a shame about her passing. Her death could have served so much more good than her life.
If the thieves hadn't sacked the place immediately upon news of her death.
Oh well, nothing to be done.
Perhaps the public auction will yield a donation.
What are they on about? Who died here? Who is that woman wrapped in the shroud? Tell me, spirit.
Why couldn't that awful Miss Scrooge help with our dear Tony? She's dead. Our wee Tony dead. Why, Bruce? Why?
Father, why?
Tony?
I'm so sorry. Tony, I'm so sorry. I tried.
No. That bright, fragile child. You mean spirit that she... No, spirit, tell me. Why convey me to the churchyard? What is this lonely headstone? Here lies Eliza Scrooge. The world is greater for her depart. Spirit, no! No! Tell me, are these dark fates the shadow of things that will be? Or are they shadows of things that may only be? Tell me, spirit, can't I prevent this? Can't I change it? Morning. You there, child. Yes, you. What day is this?
Why, it's Christmas Day, Mom.
Christmas Day. It isn't too late. Thank you, spirits. Thank you. Child, hold a moment. Take this money and buy the biggest goose you can find, stuffed, and have it delivered to the household of Bruce Cratchit on 18th Street. Hurry back to confirm, and I'll have a fine bonus for you.
Really, Mom? Oh, wow! Right away, Mom!
Look out now! Here comes Miss Scrooge!
Oh dear.
Well, even out collecting on Christmas Day, are we?
Ah, Miss Scrooge,
We were just...
Preparing to spend the day in better company, I'm sure. There you are. A substantial enough promise to get the two of you off the streets for handouts today. Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
Miss Scrooge! This amount... This is...
Merry Christmas, Miss Scrooge. Merry Christmas indeed.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Aunt Eliza?
Frida, Merry Christmas, my girl.
I didn't expect you would come. You, were in your usual humor yesterday.
Of course I came, my girl. My humor was humor in truth, a mere jest, though I see 'twas poorly delivered from scant practice. How could I ever miss Christmas with my dear niece, Frida?
I suppose you're right. Do come in, Aunt Eliza, and Merry Christmas.
Bruce Cratchit, arriving to work on the day after Christmas, and 5 minutes late. Humbug! Perhaps giving you a day of liberty was a mistake.
I'm sorry, Miss Scrooge. Someone delivered the biggest goose I've ever seen in my life, and we had such a wonderful time.
Enough! If a simple goose can affect your life so much, then perhaps it is time for a change. Cratchit!
Miss Scrooge, please. You don't mean...
Of course I do, Cratchit. How can I expect a man of your caliber to raise a family on what I pay him? Effective immediately, I am doubling your salary.
Miss Scrooge? Do you really mean that? That would change everything. My daughter, Tony.
Your family deserves better, Cratchit. And so do you. We'll talk later about your future with the company. I could teach you how to be a businessman in your own right. But for now, let's just enjoy the Christmas spirit.
Hey guys, it's Chris, and thanks for listening to our special holiday episode here. We wanted to do something different and break away from the normal characters that you know and let our cast play around a little bit. We have Chrissy Williams as Eliza Scrooge, Daniel Hawthorne as Bruce Cratchit, Scald as Jacoba Marley, Maria as Tiny Tony, Pandora Beatrix as Frida, Exa1 King as Bill, J-Star as Mrs. Cratchit, Kirsty as Fan, Austin Lieutenant Jones as Peter Cratchit, Firewriter as Martha Cratchit, Brad Williams as Christmas Past, Solior as Gentleman Number 1, BJ Reed as Gentleman Number 2, Ray as Fezziwig, and introducing Liz Smith as the child on Christmas Day. Of course, myself, I was the Ghost of Christmas Present. Thanks for listening, whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, or whatever. We enjoyed your company. Thank you again.